What do you use to remind yourself that everything isn't that bad? My mom, she died from cancer at the age of 48 while my sister was addicted to heroin, my dad was cheating on her and was going through bankruptcy. Regardless, she still showed people so much kindness and was a fantastic woman who was always smiling. I have depression and my life isn't so great right now, but I always tell myself that it can get better and that if my mom could live day to day with a smile on her face, so can I. And I feel more people going through a terrible time can really use an example like her to at least give them a little push in the right direction. I'm healthy, I'm young, have pretty good friends and am training for an awesome position in the army. Things are tough here. I live in Israel and I don't know if anyone knows this, but Tuesday morning rockets started firing at us, again, from Gaza. I was in my base and had to hear my sister crying over the phone with no way to help, because a rocket fell close to our house and she was scared, and our mom was stuck in Tel Aviv. It's really sad that that's my reality and we're just used to it by now. When days are hard, and nights are long. When storms are raging rough. When all my dreams are none too strong. And hopes ain't hope enough. I close my eyes to hear the breeze. The secret words inside. The whispered winds that shake the trees. The songs that skip and hide. I hear the rhymes that ride the tide. The swing, the sound, the beat. The lines that swell and slip and slide. In stanzas. Small and sweet. I hear the sounds that hold and wait. For those who seek to find. A safer shore, a surer state. A better frame of mind. When days are hard. When tempests cry. A squall of aches and pains. I close my eyes. And breathe a sigh. And poetry remains. 2 years ago, I tried to take my life. For a couple of months after it happened I kept thinking, I should have died, I shouldn't be here. I don't know what to do. I realized my anxiety was so severe I was one panic attack away from attempting again. I realized while I'm here I had to try to get better. So I tried, I'm still trying, it's the hardest yet best thing I've ever done. What makes me realize it's not all that bad is those little moments in the last 2 years that made me think, I'm glad to have been alive for this. It's always small silly things, a friend buys me a chocolate bar I love or I play a game I really enjoyed, but it's honestly worth surviving all the personal hell I've been through to experience it. It's more of a mindset or perspective than anything else. If I'm having a bad day I try to focus on the good things. It sounds very cliché to type it out, but just thinking of the millions of people that have it worse, some of them suffering death-threatening diseases or difficulties like being blind or crippled, and that despite that, some of them are even happier than I am in the moment. It takes away some of the steam I could be having. I'm also Christian and believe there's a greater purpose/reason for stuff. It does help me. Honestly, nothing. Everything is really, really shitty. I grew up in a country that didn't prepare me for my future life, with parents that didn't support my passions and left me nothing. My dad is dead, left nothing, my mom won't assist with anything and offers little to no emotional support. So I'm in a dead-end career I don't enjoy, because I had to choose at 18 the future of my life, and I wasn't informed by anyone on how important it really was. Then everything else is a mess. Been fucked over by cops, people at work. I've never felt like anyone was on my side, just feels like everyone on this planet is an enemy. Only thing that keeps me going is my love for music and my hope I can become a music producer or somehow start my own business. I always think about how I could have been born into bad circumstances. In my life I'm able to make my own choices, I have the freedom to do as I please. I'm able to have a job to provide for myself and thankfully I have my health. So no matter what I go through, I think about how some people are put into situations they weren't able to control and unfortunately just aren't capable of picking themselves up or simply don't have the support of friends or family. That always helps me keep my head held high and continue. Things for me are at the worst they've been for a while. I feel like I struggle every day with some different problem. I don't really want to go into it, but it's tough. But every night I sit down and I play my games and relax. If I ever find myself thinking about it I realize how everything could just tip over the edge and be that much worse, but it's not. I'm much more fortunate than most. I may not have much money, but I get by. I have my games. I have my family. I have a house. And I have food. It could all be much worse. Honestly, dumb to say, but games. Maybe it doesn't remind me that everything isn't bad. But it keeps me from thinking at all. Same with books. I enjoy just playing a game and melting away from the world. Another one is going and sitting looking at nature. Who cares if you're on your phone or laying down or about to fall asleep or taking photos of the view? The warm sun on me and the smell. The sound of birds and the feeling of being alone while looking at the world from a mountaintop. I love going places. I rarely ever do, but it's a refresher to just have time for nature. I do whatever I can to get as high up as possible. Elevation, not drugs, lol. I live in California and am fortunate enough to live 5 minutes away from some very beautiful hills and mountains. I don't bring my phone, my wallet, or anything. Maybe a water bottle at the most. When I am overwhelmed, I try to disconnect from everyone and everything. I hike up, stand at a high place and look at the whole city of human beings down below. All the cars, highways, buildings, etc. Sometimes I go in the middle of the night. Sometimes I go in the morning. Every time I feel like my life isn't worth it anymore and I go through my suicidal thoughts, I just go there, and somehow on the way back down everything isn't so bad anymore.